Welcome to the Long Road with Joel and Christy. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
And what are we doing today?
Today we are sharing how much we actually spent on our recent road trip that we took. As we were on the trip, we actually shared road trip tips. You may have seen those. They were in short format. In this video, we're just going to give a little more detail, and we're going to tell you how much it actually cost us to go on the trip. So be sure to, if you want to know how much it cost us, stay tuned.
All right. So tomorrow we're also going to be releasing a vlog of the trip. It'll be a little more detailed. Some of the things we've done. Now, to be honest, we didn't record the whole trip. We were kind of in the moment at times, so we just kind of we didn't record all of it.
That's right.
But we still decided to separate it from this video because if we put it in with this video, it's probably going to be way too long.
Yes.
So TLDW. Too long, didn't watch. Anyway.
Yeah, so we wanted to make sure that this one was focused on the money.
Right. This is focused on the money, and that one's going to be focused on the fun.
That's right.
All right. So if you want to see that vlog, be sure to come back tomorrow, and you can catch that one.
That's right. So just as a note, we went on this road trip mainly to visit our family members.
Yep.
Our son and daughter-in-law that lives in Tennessee, and both of our moms who live in Mississippi.
Yep.
So this trip started here in Orlando and went all the way up to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, all the way over to Mississippi, and then back here. So.
Yep, it's about 2,000 miles. So, it was a pretty long trip.
Yeah, we did it in about 8 days.
Yep.
So, all right, so let's get to the money.
Yeah, let's get to the money. Show me the money! All right, so the first thing we want to talk about is car rental and gas. Now, we rented a car because we knew we were going to be driving somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000 miles round trip. And our car, if you've kept up with us, you know that our car is about 13 years old. And we decided we didn't want to put that wear and tear on a 13-year-old car. Now, would it have made it? Probably. I don't think we would have had any issues. However, you just never know with a car that old. So we did rent a car for that. We got some rewards points for that. Also, with my job, I get a preferred, Avis preferred. So we skipped the rental counter, went straight to the car. So there's some perks to go along with that. But yeah, we did rent the car. So that would save you some money if you didn't rent a car. If you have a car that you trust to go on that kind of trip, then you don't have to rent a car, and that'll save you a good bit of money. We also use Gas Buddy to kind of help out, pointing out where gas is and what's the cheapest gas and where we could be able to pick that up.
Gas Buddy tells you what the gas prices are at all the gas stations that are near you.
Yep, and the downside of it is that it's user input. So it's based on whatever the gas prices is when the last person went there and recorded it in Gas Buddy. So you can do that. You can update those if you use Gas Buddy and you go through a gas station, you can update the prices if the prices are incorrect. So that's one of the downsides.
Yeah. I mean, but obviously the problem is that if the gas price has changed since the last person entered it, it's not going to be what you thought it was going to be when you got there.
So there you go.
So that's the only downside, but it does kind of give you a general idea of what they're going to be when you get to that area.
Correct.
So.
And so the total spent on transportation, we spent $152.62 on gas. That's filling up the rental car. And then the car was actually $472.07. Now, I made a mistake in returning the car. It would have been a little cheaper than that. But I forgot to fill up the car before I took it back. And I didn't agree to the gas price before I went in. And so when I forgot to fill it up, then that means they had to fill it up and they charged me more for that. So there's a little tip there. Don't forget to fill up your rental car before you take it back. Anyway, we spent $472.07 on the rental car for 8 days. Now for 8 days, that's not terrible, especially having to add back in the gas price as well. So that was in the $472.07.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about snacks. And as you know, on our frugal road trip tip number 1, we bought most of our snacks from Sam's Club. We did buy a few snacks from Buc-ee's when we went by there, but that's almost like a requirement.
Yep.
If you're familiar with Buc-ee's, you get it.
Yeah.
Be sure to come back for the vlog because you'll see what we actually got there. But also I wanted to throw you a little tip there, and it's probably not something that you've never thought of. You can bring your drinks, your picnic foods, and everything. We didn't. We just brought the snacks with us because we got a compact car. We didn't have a lot of room, so we decided we'd take snacks, but we'll buy drinks at the gas stations.
Yep.
But other than that, we brought our snacks with us.
So the next thing we want to talk about is meals. Now, when you go on a trip, you got to eat, and that adds up after a while. Now, we did have some meals that were cooked for us. My mom cooked for us. Our kids cooked for us a couple of nights. So we did get some of those. Since we're a visiting family, we did get some of those meals cooked for us. So, good home cooked meal, that's good. And it doesn't cost you anything.
Yep.
We also did treat several of our families when we went out to dinner. If they went out to eat with us, then we paid for it. So it added up a little bit more because you can't go out to eat. A family of 3 hardly can't go out to eat to a nice sit-down dinner without paying at least $50, $55, $60.
But
So anyway,
we had several that had 5.
yes.
So.
And so several meals we paid for 5 people to eat, like you said. So, so some things that we learned that we've known along the way, but we also did on this trip as well, is that share meals when possible. It helped cut down our meal budget a little bit. We used coupon books for meals. We used Groupon, Living Social. We've done that before in different places. And so the total that we spent on food for the entire trip was, and this is for 8 days now, was $741.33. So that's less than $100 a day. And so it's really hard to eat out on that. At least we were eating probably 3 times a day. On some days when we were traveling, we'd eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner out on the road. So $741.33, we thought that was pretty good
On
for
the
those 8
days
days.
on the days that we had somebody cooking for us, we still ate out 2 of the meals.
Yep.
They just fixed 1 meal
That's
for
right.
us. So it was still 2 on those days and then 3 on the other days.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about attractions.
Yeah.
Now,
Let's have
there's a
some fun.
caveat to our
A little bit.
now, and that is just that because our son and daughter-in-law work in the entertainment field in Pigeon Forge, they get discounts and also comp tickets for family members.
Right.
So yes, they do work in Dollywood, and we did go into Dollywood for free that
Yep.
day. And we also did the Sky Wheel for free. That's at the island at Pigeon Forge.
Yep.
The Sky Wheel, which we'll put a little video of that. But anyway, so since we can't tell you how to do that unless you know somebody, what we're going to tell you is the things that we used to do because we used to live in the area. We were about 2 hours north of it, so we have spent a lot of time in Pigeon Forge. Is you look for free or cheap activities. You can Google that. It will come up with many places like parks that you can hike in, things that are on the cheap that it just doesn't cost as much. There are lots of things to do there like that. So be sure to Google that if you are going on a budget. We also showed in one of our frugal road trip tips that you can get coupon books, and you can get those coupon books in the hotels, in Walmart, and the Welcome Center, the restaurants. You can get them anywhere, and they will have coupons on food, attractions, and like with the attractions, it's usually several dollars off each person in your party, not just $2 off of the total,
Right.
$2 off each person
Right.
in your party. So be sure to check those out. Groupon, Living Social. You can also go on to the individual websites of the attractions, and sometimes they have really good deals.
Yep.
So be sure to check online. And the total that we spent on attractions, and we are including the parking at Dollywood, was $102.31. And we will give you another tip there. If you don't want to pay for the parking at Dollywood, if you catch one of the trolleys and Pigeon Forge, it will take you there. The only downside is you have to make sure that you get on the trolley before the last. You have to get at least the last one that leaves,
Right.
Or you won't have a way to get home.
You have to walk back.
Yeah. So but the trolley is a lot cheaper than parking at Dollywood.
For our hotels, we spent money at 3 hotels. We spent the night Saturday night on the road. Then we had our hotel.
We were somewhere in Georgia.
Yeah, in
Or
South Carolina. Actually.
South Carolina.
In
Yeah.
Spartanburg. No, not Spartanburg, Columbia. And so we stayed Saturday night in Columbia, South Carolina. We had our hotel in Pigeon Forge, and then we didn't spend the night again until we were on our way back to Florida. And so we spent the
Because we stayed with his mom.
because we stayed with my mom, and so we got some free lodging there, and some breakfast. So and free lodging there came with free breakfast. So there you go.
Continental breakfast and everything.
However, in that defense, we did buy her groceries because we were there and we did eat. She did cook for us, so we bought some groceries for her. So
Yes.
So some places you can look for savings is Hotels.com, which we used through Ibotta, which we got discount from, Swagbucks, Rakuten, Hotel Tonight, the app you can use on your phone. You can do that if you're searching for a hotel. You can do that as well. You can do coupon books that you find in rest areas.
You can't call ahead.
Yeah, you can't call ahead. It's got to be a walk up, and you hand them the coupon. They say, yeah, we have this room for you, and they give you the price for it. So, all right, and we also use Trivago. That's the starting place for us. We use that to compare room rates, especially when we're going to buy in advance. So we try to look for the best price on that.
That's right. After we figure out which website has the best price through Trivago, then we go to Ibotta, Swagbucks, or Rakuten and search for that website there, and then look for the hotel room. That way we're still getting our cash back, but we know we're getting it from the hotel with the best price.
All right, so our total for our hotel was $791.79, and that's for all 5 nights, 3 nights in Pigeon Forge and 2 nights on the road. $791.79, and we got back $8.30 from one of our cashback apps.
Yes, it was Ibotta. We'll put referral links to all of these down in the description.
Okay. And so our total for the trip, our grand total for the trip was $2,260.12. And I just want to say again that we cash flowed that. It's all paid for. It's done. It's off our credit cards already. And it was a couple of days after we got back. So once all the charges hit, I went ahead and paid that off and totally cash flowed. And we are done with that. We don't have to worry about paying that off for the next 10 years.
That's right. And that's the big thing that we hope that you get from us, is that it's okay to plan frugal road trips or vacations. Just make sure that you prepare ahead of them and have a budget.
There you go. All right. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell for new videos. When we post new videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes on the weekend. Don't forget to come back tomorrow for the vlog video of the places and the things that we did and saw while we were there, and we hope you like that too. So I think that's going to do it today. For the Long Run with Joel and Christy, I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
And don't forget the long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Bye.